Hi guys, it is dark outside and we just dimmed the lights, or I just dimmed the lights so Isla could wind down a little bit. I'm sitting in the floor with her because she was a little fussy. But we just finished dinner and I wanted to give a little update on what I was able to do while she was napping. So I was hoping to finish going through the anatomy of story today and plotting using that. But I didn't because I don't know why, but I feel like it would have moved a little faster, I guess, but I'm trying to figure out, there was like there was already sort of, not a plot hole, but like a, I guess a plotting obstacle, trying to coordinate like when the inciting incident's gonna be and then what the like first revelation is going to be, so like the first reveal. And then I kept bouncing back and forth between the two, like, is my first reveal the inciting incident because I've done that before, or should they be separate? And then I have 3 different points of view, so I just basically started with Abby and I'm stuck with Abby. So I'm going through the entire thing with Abby, the 22 steps with Abby first, and then I'll do the other 2 point of view characters. And then the other 2 should be easier because it's in the same story, like they're all involved in the same major plot points. It's just they kind of have their own little stories that we're following. They have their own role in that big story. So once I get those big pieces done, I feel like the rest of it's going to be faster. But yeah, I didn't even finish Abby's 22 steps. I'm pretty close on finishing hers, and like I said, I feel like the other 2 point of view characters will be easier because it's the same major plot points for them too. And then while I was going through Abby as well, I was also sort of figuring out like little plot pieces for the second point of view, because they'll kind of be working together. So yeah, that was, I feel like I'm most of the way through that now. And then the third point of view character, I've kind of floundered, like I don't know if I should have that third point of view character, but I want him as a point of view character, and right now it doesn't look like he would, there's not another chance for him to get his own point of view, if that makes sense. So I feel like I kind of have to do him in this book, but I don't know if I'm gonna have to make it important enough, I guess, to be a point of view character. So I might have to, like, I'm not even focused. Why is this not focused on me? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I have it on like where it'll detect my face and automatically focus on my face, but it hasn't been working for a while for some reason. Yeah, I feel like he's, you know, he's a star role, I guess, his character, so, or a starring role. There's kind of like 6 main characters that I have right now, so or there's 1 main character and then there's 5 like really big supporting characters that I want to follow each one of their points of view before. I was thinking in the final book would be all of their points of view together. So it kind of, it's a series that's growing, not just like in the plot line, but like points of view, and like it's just expanding out, which is just making it more difficult for me. But I feel like it's right for this story. Yeah. So I, fingers crossed that she sleeps through the night, that she sleeps in, that she wakes up at a normal time, because then I can wake up early, and, or even if she wakes up a little early, I guess that maybe she wakes up closer to the time that I would get up. This morning she woke up at 4 and I wanted to get up at 5:30, and an hour and a half was just too big of a difference. Like I was just gonna be too exhausted, so that's why I went back to sleep. But yeah, so you know, if she sleeps until her normal time, like 7:30, that would be great. Even if it's 5:30 though, I can still try to put her back to sleep and then be awake to do my own work. But yes, I want to try to work early in the morning tomorrow as well, and then I can also work during her nap. Which also, I forgot how just exhausting, I guess it can be, creatively exhausting to plot, because it's like decision overload almost, because you're trying to figure out what's the best thing to do, and then for each character, and you're deciding all these little aspects of the characters, even with Abby, I've written her for 2 books, but I'm still figuring out, like, okay, with this book, what is her specific weakness now? You know, she grew in the 2nd book, so it's kind of like she has to have evolved to have a different weakness in the 3rd book, with each subsequent book. So I still need to figure her out, even though I've written her for 2 books already. So it's this decision overload with each character, and you know where I want to go with them, and then making sure the plots line up with the last book and with the 1st book. So it's a lot of back-to-back choices. And oh, hold on. Yeah, so it feels like my creative well. I don't feel like I have time to watch a show, but that's one way, like watching TV shows and movies is one way that I fill up my creative well. Reading doesn't really do that for me because I almost can't switch off my like my writer, I guess. I'm still analyzing like, oh, that was a cool thing that they did, or like, you know, I don't, not necessarily judge. I feel like everybody does that when they're reading. They're like, oh, I don't really like that part, or, you know. So with watching TV shows and movies, I can just do it for enjoyment, and it sort of refills my creative well. And outlining for like 2 straight hours definitely depletes my well. About an hour and a half through, I start to like peter off, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, like I know I need a break, but I'm like, right now I feel like I don't have much time to take a break. So that's what I'm hoping tomorrow as well. When I do it in the morning, if I try to get a morning session in, then I can sort of replenish my creative well until her nap time, and then have another little like burst, so where I can, you know, wrap things up and finish things up. But yeah, my plan was tomorrow to finish outlining, but I honestly don't know right now if I would be able to feel confident enough that I have the whole story down. Because I think I said, I don't know if it was in the beginning of this video or if it was in the last vlog, that I did that in the past where I was like, okay, I have like, you know, 75% good. I should be good. But I have to have those little pieces, otherwise I want to avoid rewriting as much as possible. Rewriting is kind of like the bane of my existence because it makes me feel like I'm not doing any progress, like making any progress. Hopefully I don't wash out. Oh my gosh, I'm sitting in her rocking chair because I'm just too exhausted. It's been one of those days I feel like I've barely sat. Jumpy, jumpy, jumpy! You just ate. Don't you know you're supposed to wait 20 minutes before you jump in the pool? I would say outlining's going well. It's just taking, I guess a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but it's also, like I said this morning, it's also not taking as long as I thought it would. Yeah, but I know I need to get to a point where I feel like I know as much of the story as possible, if that makes sense. I've ironed out as many little details as I can. What are you doing? Yeah, you're making crazy noises. Because if I don't, like I said, I'm just gonna have to do rewrites later, and those are seriously the bane of my existence. So in order to avoid that and the dip in motivation that it creates, is that you? I'm just gonna try to actually finish my outline, even though you probably don't want me rocking. Are you just talking over there? Even though it's going to delay when I can write. That's kind of what we gotta do, huh, Isla? Okay, I will update you tomorrow. Maybe in the morning, but we'll see. It depends on her nap. Not her nap, it depends on how she sleeps. Jesus, I'm so tired. Good morning. I feel like I'm picking up right where I left off yesterday in Isla's bedroom. She actually slept through the night, so I was able to wake up. I pretty much worked for about an hour this morning, which was great. It is currently, I think, about 8 o'clock. I really feel good about being able to get some work done in the morning. And I said yesterday that I hadn't finished like the 22 steps for for any of the 3 characters' point of view, but today I finished 2 of them, so that pretty much I feel like that's gonna be, look at your hair. Okay? Okay. So that pretty much, I feel like it's going to be at least half, maybe 75% of the total outline done once I finish those 22 steps. So it's really helping me to, for me, it's like, Sarah Cannon said in one of her recent videos, I think on heart breathings, it's like, maybe it wasn't a recent video. In one of her videos, she talked about how outlining is kind of like, or having certain big pieces is like having the corners of a puzzle, and once you have those corners of the puzzle, it's easier to fill everything else in. So I feel like I'm getting those. For me, I have like more than 4 corners like in my outline, but like the important bits that sort of clue me into what else is happening, I feel like I have figured those pieces out, which is huge. For me, that takes the most like thought and the most sort of like creative energy to figure those pieces out. So now that I have those, I feel like the rest is sort of falling into place a little bit easier. So figuring out Abby's point of view was the hardest because now I have those big elements in the story that are taking place. So now the other 2 point of views are coming easier. So I was able to finish the second point of view, which I just realized I was gonna tell you the point of view characters for the 3rd book, but I don't know exactly how to do that because it's sort of a spoiler for the 2nd book. Like it depends on the stuff that happens in the 2nd book. So I've not had that before, even where I have to like, I've not ever had to worry about like the blurb for the 3rd book would clue you into things that happened, would almost be a spoiler for the 2nd book. I know that has happened plenty. Like I have read a synopsis or a blurb before of a book in a series and when I haven't read the previous books and been like, oh dang, okay, that was like a spoiler. So I know it happens obviously, but I've just never had to navigate it myself. So I am hesitant. That's why I'm hesitant to tell you the point of view characters, and I kind of hope I haven't ever let it slip who the point of view characters are. But Abby is one of them. That one's not a spoiler. She's kind of like the main backbone person, like the main character for these stories. But anyway, I need to get some water. You all are hearing my smoker voice again. And get that baby some breakfast. What do you want for breakfast? Feels really good to be able to get some work done like at the beginning of the day. It's been so long since I've been able to do that. Probably the other day when I was editing that YouTube video was the first time in like a while, like months probably, where I have been able to wake up early and get something done early in the morning. So it felt really good to do that again today, and then hopefully during her lunch I can finish the 3rd point of view, which is kind of like I said yesterday, the extra point of view. So I will need to develop a little bit more because the other 2 point of view characters are a little more, their story's a little more intertwined than the 3rd one. So the 3rd one kind of has more standalone scenes. So I will need to figure some more stuff out, but now that I have the big pieces, at least I have that. So hopefully I can get that point of view wrapped up and then move on to transferring all of those pieces to the outline. So now that I'm still working in one big document, don't smush your toes. I'm working in one big document, kind of like to brainstorm, outline everything, and then once I have that, I'm gonna take those pieces and then move them into an outline in Scrivener with, you know, scene cards and all that. So making progress, feeling pretty good. Still no words written, but that's okay. Have to do it right. I gotta update you guys later. I feel like this video is gonna have the most updates of my writing vlogs because I guess I have more pressure, or I'm putting more pressure on myself to actually get this done, which is good. And then it's obviously the first writing that I'm doing in one of my vlogs. All the other vlogs have kind of been more like authorly tasks rather than just writing, so. Oh, come here. Did you get scared? It's okay. Papa. Is that you? Baby snuggles are the best. Are you gonna vlog? Might be a little shaky. So not the best news to report after her nap. She only napped for 30 minutes, so I was only able to get to the first revelation for the 3rd point of view, which wasn't very far. She's been napping well, but I think I said in one of my videos that she has been napping a lot in the car, and when she does that, it's hard for her to nap in her crib again. So I'm like struggle busting too. For some reason I feel super exhausted. My neck is killing me, which for some reason sometimes like makes me feel, I don't know what it is. It's like I feel just very drained. Almost like you have a lot of muscle fatigue, if that makes sense. I've tried to look it up because sometimes it almost feels like a buildup of lactic acid. But who knows? I'm just old. That's my thing now. I'm just like an old person. I have a bunch of joint pain and I'm like, my muscles hurt. And I didn't even work out. Anyway, I'm gonna take her to play outside. It's not my best like parent moment, I feel, because I'm pretty much letting her play outside so I can just chill on my phone and like sort of watch her while I'm just resting, I guess, like sitting down, because I would like to just put on a show for her so I could watch a show, but I don't want her to watch that much TV. So outside's better than that, right? So that's what I'm doing. But yeah, I just seriously just want to be laying down. I'm so tired. I don't know. I felt kind of fine this morning, but oh my gosh, yeah, it just feels like my neck is just, it's like burning. It just feels like there's a hot, like, not in a good way. I'm almost thinking like something that's hot sitting on my like shoulders, but not in a good way. Okay, I'm gonna let her play outside. That kind of stinks, so hopefully tomorrow I can get a little bit more work done in the morning again, and then when she naps, I did want to start writing tomorrow, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But at least I'm still going at a fast pace. I'm still kind of pushing myself, even though I'm not reaching those goals. I'm still getting more done than I would have if I had been like, oh, I'll give myself 2 weeks or whatever. So hopefully that is motivation for you, or kind of, you know, makes you feel a little better, I guess, if you're in the same boat as me. I finally finished the outline. I'm so excited. So I got to work this morning before Isla woke up, and then I got to work while she was just napping, and she had a good nap. Unfortunately, it was in the car because I went on a run with my mom, and then she napped on the way back. I wanted to be back before her nap, but I still got to work. So, I mean, we still won here. I ended up with about 56 scenes, which are pretty much going to turn into chapters. So it's looking like it's going to be about 120,000 words right now, but I do think while I'm writing, I'm going to have to add a couple scenes, because I probably have like 90% of things filled out, but I know I'm sure there's going to be bridges that need to be gapped, is what I wanted to say. Gaps that need to be bridged. I don't even know if that makes any sense right now. But I'm gonna, you know, bridge between 2 scenes. I'm sure that's gonna happen. So it's looking like it's gonna be longer. I feel like my novels are usually long. They usually end up being about 120,000 words. It's okay. But this one's got 3 point of views, so it's probably gonna be more. But anyway, just wanted to check in and tell you that I finished my outline, which means tomorrow I can start writing. I'm so excited. I wanted to start writing today, but one day later I will take it. Hi guys, good morning. It is the 7th of November, so hopefully I'm gonna be editing this video tomorrow. Sorry for my smoker's voice. My voice just sounds like this every morning. And I look super tired. I didn't actually wake up early this morning to write, which I was on like a 3-day streak, so I'm kind of disappointed about that, but I was just too tired this morning. My alarm went off like right in the middle of a dream, and that is not, I just cannot wake up when that happens. So it's like, and it was an interesting dream about like this big beast, animal, owl monster that was like in our tree outside, and this was in our old house in Jacksonville, and it was like, yeah, it was kind of creepy, but I like creepy dreams. So but I was just watching Sarah Cannon's NaNoWriMo diaries vlogs, and I realized I didn't update yesterday. I wrote around, like I finally got to write, which is super exciting. I wanted to update yesterday because I was just like super excited about it, but the day was just too busy, too long. But I was able to write about 2,200 words, I think. I'll put the actual number on here, which is so exciting. And I'm writing from a new point of view. I've kind of decided to go write by point of views, and then like mash up the scenes. That's what I did the second time I started writing Step 2. Like when I was finishing Step 2, is I just finished it all in one point of view, then went straight to the other point of view character, because for me it helps to stay in that person's head to get the voice clear. And this new point of view character I'm really enjoying writing because they're like sarcastic and Like they just have like dark humor, but they're very, it's like a strong person. But it's just kind of fun to be in their head while I'm writing those scenes, because they are struggling with a little bit of stuff right now, probably with a lot of stuff. This character is just fun to write right now. So I've decided to start with this character because I was the most excited about it. So maybe I should have started with a different character, because I feel like mid-month I usually have a dip, so it probably would have been good to save this character's point of view and for then, but whatever. I'm just excited about it now, so I'm going for it. But yeah, I was in a groove yesterday. I wrote about 1,700 words in the morning, and then, because I woke up at like, I started writing at 6 before Isla woke up, and then I wrote a little bit for her nap yesterday. She only had a 30-minute nap, so I only got up to like 2,200 words, which I'm super happy about. I might have to adjust my, on pacemaker.press. I kind of did like my goals and kind of set it up so I know how many words I'm gonna write, but I might have to adjust it. It just depends, I think, on how these days go. I think on the weekends I said that I would write 3,000 words a day, so we'll see. Yesterday was Friday, so we'll see how many words I can write today, especially because I didn't wake up early. I'm gonna get her breakfast going. Just wanted to pop on here because I realized that I hadn't updated you guys, and then tomorrow I will be closing out this vlog, so hopefully tomorrow I can get some good writing in, stay in this groove. It just feels so good to write and update. I love the new keyboard. I love it, because it's kind of like when I'm writing in bed, I can just have it on my lap, or I have my that little desk, like fold out desk thing that I use. I have that. I don't fold it up, so it's just like a flat surface that I can write on, and I put my keyboard on there, and then it's kind of like the perfect angle for like the 90-degree bend in my arm, like ergonomic kind of setup. So I'm really liking it. Type's so nice. I do have to get used to some of the stuff, like the delete key, where it's at. It's actually bigger, which I like, but it's in a different spot. The backspace key, you have to travel a lot farther to get to the backspace key, and then for some reason, like the period and like the comma, my brain can't find that. It just seems to be in a different space than where it normally is, so I have to get used to it a little bit, but I'm loving it. Like, I just love that it's, instead of being totally flat like this, it's raised a little bit. Definitely love that. I'll try to link some of my like writing products down below. I think I want to do like a Christmas writing, like a writing gift guide for, a gift guide for writers for Christmas. Jesus. I'm gonna make her breakfast and then hopefully update you maybe later today, depending on how many words I get in, but definitely tomorrow. Alright, I've got a really sleepy baby on my hands, but I wanted to go ahead and wrap up this vlog. I'm about to put her down for a nap. But I just ran in the house, that's why I'm out of breath. And I also went on a run this morning, which is why I'm out of breath too. But I am super excited about the progress that I have made. Technically, I am behind in my writing so far, but like a week ago, I didn't even know what this book was going to be about. I didn't know where the series was going to go, really, like 9 days ago, which is totally crazy. So I'm super excited about that. So in summary, for this week, I finished outlining the series of where it's gonna go, at least to book 6, so I have a really clear idea of where to take it, and I might add on more to that as I go along writing the series. And then I finished the outline for the 3rd book, so I went through the entire anatomy of story, plotted everything out for 3 points of view. I feel like I have something on my shirt. I feel like I have like 90 to 95% of the outline totally done, and I usually like to leave myself a little bit of wiggle room to fill in some of the gaps, so there's probably like 2 or 3 scenes that I'll add as needed, because I outline, but I also leave it open to pants and adjust as needed, because some of my best ideas seem to come from, I wouldn't say some of my best ideas, some of the ideas that kind of make the story the most organic, if that makes sense, kind of add a layer, they add like another layer of depth to the story. Those come from pantsing, and it's usually some quirk with the character or whatever. So anyway, finished the outline for step 3, and then I started writing, which is totally, I'm so excited. That first day of writing, I was just so, I actually pumped out like I think 1,800 words almost before Isla woke up, and then I was able to write a little bit while she napped. Not quite as much, unfortunately, but, and then I need to adjust my pacemaker thing because right now I should have been at about 5,000 words. Wait, no, I should be at 8,000 words today on Sunday with the pacemaker because I said I would try to write 3,000 words. Here you go, baby. On Saturday and Sunday each, and then 2,000 during the week. But I think I'm just gonna try to do 2,000, like 2,200 every day and not bulk load any on the weekends because I also need to spend time editing this vlog every Sunday. So I just kind of still need to figure out how I want to pace things. But yeah, super excited about my progress. I hope you guys have had a great start to your NaNoWriMo. Let me know in the comments down below. I haven't actually set up my handle on NaNoWriMo, but I will link that down below as well, so go check it out. I will see you guys with another Nano vlog next week. Bye.
Try not to hold me down, feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at these beautiful stars, I wanna drive a faster car, nothing